Here's a quick thought. I don't really know where it came from or where I got the idea, but I'm making a practice to really celebrate people who are where I want to be. So if people tell me something like they're making more money than I am a month, or they're doing something really cool with their job, or like they just got invited to do something super dope, or like something where I would really love to have that experience, first of all, my natural instinct is to be like, that's amazing. But like low key, I am also really jealous. I can be jealous sometimes. And so like now on Instagram too, like I always followed like a handful of models and stuff like that in the past. But like now it's like my whole feed is like becoming models because I'm like scouting agencies. And so when I see models who are doing like big time campaigns, or they're like being featured on, or they're walking runway, or like they're somewhere in their career I really want to be, or their photos are really professional. They like clearly did a professional paid shoot. I'm like really making a practice to like heart the thing, or like, you know, say good job, or like let them comment and like let them know how it inspired me, versus being like, like F this B, you know? Like, because that level of energy and that level of sort of congratulations, like we're all one really from like a standpoint. And it's like, I try to think like, what would I like to receive? And I get a lot of validation and a lot of like support and things like that. And I think since I've been really catching myself and making this practice to really celebrate other people and their success, I feel more confident too. Like, and I feel better about myself. I don't feel like this like victim person, like, why am I not there yet? Like, not that I don't have my own thoughts about that, but I also feel like it starts to also heal the sister wound. You know, this is a really large conversation in the female community. You know, if we want to get really biological, I don't know what cavemen were like, you know, or if there was diversiveness among animals. But for sure, somehow there became this split among women because men are quote unquote scarce resources, right? So from a young age, especially like me, you know, I'm like a mid to late millennial. So probably like a mid-millennial, not like a mediocre millennial. I like to think I'm a pretty cool millennial. I'm really happy I'm a millennial, to be honest. Gen Z, you guys are so good with technology, but honestly, please, you guys need help. Seriously. You guys are lacking so much cultural education. I cannot even with myself these days. But that's a totally separate conversation. You guys have been really inspiring in so many ways with technology, because for most of us Gen Z, or most of us millennials, like we didn't have technology, like solid technology and like social media until we were like in high school. Like my generation, at least, like plus or minus like 4 years. So like the borderline millennials / Gen Zs are like a little bit more tech savvy, but like for most of the, like, you know, if you were like kind of in like the 93s to like the 96s, 7s, borderline 8s, I think once you kind of get into 98, like then you guys start to get like a little bit wild. But basically if you're like in the 89 to like 90, 89 for sure, like 90 to like 96, 97. I think for me, I was at 93. So anybody kind of like plus or minus 4 or 5 years of me. We didn't really have technology until we were like in high school. So, I mean, whatever. Facebook came out when we were like in middle school. But like, nobody had phones really. So we were like at home sitting on like AOL, Instagram, Messenger, like talking shit about each other and like talking about boys for like hours until like 2 a.m. when we were supposed to be doing homework. Anyway, side note. FYI, my AOL, Instagram, Messenger forever. Well, I think I had a couple other ones after, but like honestly, when I catch up with old friends from like elementary school and middle school, like we always joke about like our stupid ass Instagram Messenger, our AOL screen, our original, let's just put it this way. They were our original handles, okay? So mine was Roxy Surfer 5512. I don't think you guys are surprised. Forever Roxy Surfer 501 thank you very much. And then you had the little bio section where you could like update everybody like who you were dating, you know, and like you would put like your boyfriends or whatever, your girlfriends or something, like name and then like the date you guys started dating. Oh my God, honestly, I have so many fond memories of growing up as a millennial in like kind of like a mid-city, like you know, like not like the farm. I'm like not from the farm, but like where, actually technically I am from a farm, but it was like a more developed farm. Where I'm from in California used to all be farms. Actually growing up, where my parents live now, they live on the border and like the hillside. There used to be a bunch of cows. So like I legit grew up on the edge of a farm, but now the city's big and it's like a big place for like millennial couples and like tech and stuff like that. But like, I guess technically when we were growing up, it was still a smaller town, but it was already like an established town. Like it was like 100K, 1,000 people or whatever. I don't know. And they had orange trees everywhere. So like low key, we like grew up on a farm that was like a bigger size farm. Hope that was clear enough. Oh my God, where was I going with this? I tell stories like this a lot. There's so many stories and then you go in like all these like spider web threads because they're like super funny. And then you like try to circle back to the original conversation. You're like, wait, why was I even having this conversation?